world come with a dance. Puerto Rican in the breathing heavy. Little am I looking daddy. Couldn't tell.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the New York Jets and their inner-city rivals, the New York Giants. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He hits Beasley right side. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that. And right away, he lost the football. And I think he's a guy, if they had let him walk, no one was going to be shouting from the top of a mountain. But he's a good guy. He's a good locker room guy, too.
Good locker room and a good player. I mean, he's a valuable starter for them. And if you just want to start over and maybe bring in someone new, the learning curve might be a little bit big. So it's a good job by getting him taken care of, and now they can move forward.
Let's go! 3-19!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds Beckham complete. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
Hurry up, here we go! 3-19!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Shepard. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Leopard! Leopard! All right, here we go. 3-19!
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And now running right through it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, now look at that. Green, 39.
Now back to throw. To Barkley on the check down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw here. And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. Now a first carry for Isaiah Crowell. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On 2nd down, Darnold. That's complete over the middle to Stewart. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up a touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. And they've got it here with a first down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Throw left side is taken in by Stewart. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really fairly frequent combination. On second down, here's Crowell. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Olivier Vernon brings him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Leopard! Leopard!
A first down carry now for Crowell. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Here's Darnold now on second down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
They're 2 for 2 on third down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on third down. Darnold from the gun. Open man is Stewart. It's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, you guys didn't come out of the gate. I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out?
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Giants. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play.
Defense.
But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
Here we go. 3, 9, 5.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley, and they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Shepard. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works a defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down.
Touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the 2nd quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. Got an open man. It's a noon one. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Jets on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Flushed out right. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. To throw is Darnold. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Darnold now to throw. And he's going to go down again. Dalvin Tomlinson. Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold being chased out left. That's to his running back. Complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Tide Bulls tried it, went for it, but it didn't pay off. And the Giants are going to get the football back. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and hit. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Back to throw, Darnold. A little dump off for Corral. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet first down.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say, on third down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Trying to lay one up deep. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. A bullet throw, but incomplete. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. They'll run it again with Barkley. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preach, it's coach, it's thought about.
This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side, you know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They keep it with Crowell on first. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. The tackle by Janoris Jenkins.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now it's Darnold. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. A first down throw, Darnold. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Darnold from the red zone now. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10.
Gone! Detroit!
Darnold. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping them on 3rd and short, but sometimes you get some...
Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. On 4th down, Darnold. And he's got a moonwalk. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They opt to go for it, and they get it. 1st and goal after a pickup of 5. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Now Darnold. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. B.J. Goodson leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Here's Darnold. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Here's Darnold. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Open man right side is Ingram. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll look to throw. It's caught. Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the G-men have taken the lead here in the 4th.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jets. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
On first down, it's Darnold. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter, got to feel pretty good as a defense.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Anunwa's got it, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Again, Darnold. Hard throw, incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. 4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the 2nd half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Caught left side. It's Beckham. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 39. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, Darnold. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw. Quick hitter here is complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They'll look to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jets are an extra point away from leading this game. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused, because they still have some work to do.
This one taken from the 7. He stiff arms him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. They get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Set!
They'll look to throw here. Throw left side complete. It's Shepard. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The Giants on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback, because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. That game's gone final, by the way, down in New Orleans. And give that one to the Cardinals as they wind up winners. Corey Coleman closing in on 100 yards receiving. He's at 96 right now. Darnold. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Darnold now to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And now it's 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Darnold. Looking deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. So it all rests now on the left foot of Giorgio Tavecchio. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. So it all rests now on the left foot of Giorgio Tavecchio. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
Following the field goal on is Locke Edwards to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Jets, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games.
Your favorite rapper name on the headstone. Too late, you already dead. Imagine when you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hate it knowing that my thoughts are turned.